Hey guys, today I'm going to be walking you through how to use the Aparavi PII Censor node, which is my n8n community node. So in order to get started working with the Aparavi PII Censor node, or really any community node, you first go down to Settings, you select Community Nodes. Here you'll see a list of all of the community nodes that you already have installed. You'll see that I already have the Aparavi PII Censor node installed. Um, but in your case, you'll want to go ahead and click Install in the top right. Click Browse to search through all n8n community nodes. Very important, do not overwrite this keyword. This is necessary to filter to only community nodes. And go ahead and search for PII. Now, when you search for PII, you'll see that the Aparavi Censor node is the top result. So go ahead and copy the package name. And again, you'll do this with any community node that you use. Paste it into this input. Click the box, click install. Now I get this error because I already have it installed, but you should be directed right back here. So once you have the community node installed, it'll show up. If you type in PII, you'll see it over here on the right. So mine shows up right here. Aparavi PII Censor, add to workflow, blah, 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 blah. So I have this workflow with a working example. Here I've got a Gmail trigger. I extract the email body, I censor it, I insert it into a spreadsheet. So what's the use case here? The use case here is that I receive customer support emails in my department, in my company. Another department, like the marketing department, wants to receive a copy of all of the customer support requests to sort of see what the pain points are for our existing customers. Now, the problem is that a lot of these emails receive personally identifiable information, like sensitive information, such as credit card numbers, emails, addresses. And these are things that you don't necessarily want to share with other departments. And it's just good practice to censor sensitive information before you hand it off to strangers. So you'll see I have this pipeline. There's a Gmail trigger. I don't think there's much setup here. Yeah, you just specify message received. And then I have this edit fields node. A thing about the Gmail trigger is this. When you receive an email, it's going to be a really large object, right? It'll be much smaller if you have simplify selected, but we're going to want every field. And we'll just pull out the fields that we care about using the edit fields node. So we disable simplify. We go to our edit fields node, and then we specify what fields we care about. In our case, we care about a property called text. Now, an email object is going to be a really large object. It's going to have labels. It's going to have, sender. It's going to have a subject line. And then the email body is going to be contained in a property called text. So we're just going to want to go ahead and pull that one out and pass it along the workflow. Now in the Aparavi PII Censor node, it's set up right now to censor USA PII, but it can censor international PII, it can censor HIPAA data. By default, the input data, it'll just censor all of the properties that it sees. But if you want to get really specific, you can specify exactly which fields you want to censor PII for and have it in a comma separated list. One other thing to note is when you get started with the Aparavi PII Censor node, you're going to need an Aparavi API key. Now, you can get an Aparavi API key by clicking on the docs and following the instructions in the README, which will just be a quick sign up with your email. You don't need to enter payment information. You should just be ready to go. So you'll sign up, you'll fill out a quick form, what company are you with, how big is your company, and then you'll go ahead and create an API key. It should be quick and easy to figure out. Oh, one other note too is you can customize the way that you censor. So by default, we censor using a black box character, but you can do asterisks or, whatever you prefer. And then the final step is we're going to insert into a Google Sheet. So I have this Google Sheet here. It has one column, customer message. And I'm just specifying down below, customer message is the column that I care about. And what's going to be inserted there is just going to be text. If you recall, the text property is just the property that we plucked using the edit fields node earlier in the pipeline. So in order to run this pipeline, we go ahead and set it to active, right? Once your workflow is active, then this Gmail trigger will be waiting to receive new emails. So we'll go ahead and send in a customer support request. So this support request is about a woman. She bought a watch for her husband, Michael Johnson. She expected it to have an engraving, but she got a plain watch. And she's including her home address. She's including her personal email. And she's including her phone number. And those are all things that we want to censor before we insert it into the sheet, which is shared with our marketing department. One thing to note about the Gmail trigger is it's not real time, right? So we poll once every minute to check if a new email was received. If a new email was received, then this workflow is ran. So we can go ahead and watch in executions. These are all from previous runs, but you'll see that the workflow just started running because it detected that a new email was received at our customer support email. So we'll go ahead and let this run. It should take a little while. It takes about 30 seconds. You know, Aparavi underneath the hood, it sort of spins up a new engine instance, does some processing in memory, and then it spins down the engine. And it doesn't save any information. Nothing is tracked. The only thing that's tracked is usage tied to each API key, but no personal data is ever stored anywhere, not even in any logs. Okay, so our workflow succeeded, and let's go ahead and look at the final result. Here we go. We went from our original email. This is unacceptable. I ordered a custom engraved watch for my husband, Michael Johnson. She wanted the engraving, but she got the plain watch. Her home address is blanked out. You can reach her at this blanked out email address or this blanked out phone number. Anyways, I hope that you start using this node. I hope you sign up and get an Aparavi API key. And I would love to learn about your use cases and what you build with this node. And if you have any problems at all, I'm available and active on the n8n community forum. So please reach out for any reason whatsoever. See you there.